It is 6:30 and we are getting ready to start our regular meeting. But before we do that, we're going to start off tonight with our tax rate hearing for the 2026-27 year. So we'll start off with Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight I'll be going over some information related to two action items that will occur actually later on tonight. But I wanted to go through, and we'll have the tax rate hearings, and then we'll go through, present the information, open it up for any questions that anyone may have, and then later on in the meeting we'll have two action items to actually approve the things associated with that. So first of all, related to the actual tax rate ceiling, we did go through our actual board approved levy right now is, our voter approved levy is $3.05. So back in April of 2024, the levy was approved by our voters, $3.05 per $100 of assessed valuation. So back in the 2024-25 school year, that $3.05 levy did take effect as a result of that. And then the way that all works, if the assessed valuation does not grow beyond the consumer price index, at that point, you are actually allowed to run your tax levy higher than the voter approved levy. Waynesville has never done that. We always say, the board approved levy is 305, the voter approved levy is 305. So that's what we're doing. But if you do that, you have to take a rollback at that point. So back in 2024-25 school year, we did have to take a small rollback for us to set it back down at the 305 levy. And then in 2025-26, there was a very large increase in assessed valuation, which caused the Hancock Amendment to kick in. And whenever the assessed valuation outgrows the consumer price index, then they require you to cut your tax levy down by that amount. So at that point, we were forced to roll our levy all the way down from $3.05 all the way down to $2.8747. So that happened back in the 25-26 school year. So now fast forward to this current year, the rollback from 2024 is still in effect. That takes an actual board-approved motion to go through and raise that ceiling. So that's what I'm presenting here tonight. The action item will actually be later on in the meeting, but due to the minimal gross and assessed valuation this year, the levy actually fell out at 2.8912. But by adopting this resolution later on, that allows us to raise our tax ceiling to 2.9021, which is still significantly less than the $3.05. But that will be presented later for the board to vote on, which would allow us to run it at 2.9021. And then right after that, I will have the hearing that would set the tax levy at that. So nothing required at this point. Any questions on that before I move into the tax rate hearing?
I believe you can continue.
All right. Thank you, sir. I'll go ahead and jump in here. So I got a slide here that shows assessed valuation by category. So this kind of shows the snapshot from last year to this year. As you can see there, last year, 2025, the total assessed valuation when you're looking at real estate and personal property was $423,389,267. Going into 2026, kind of minimal growth of up to $437,818,803, difference of $14,429,536. And so that is a difference in assessed valuation. A lot of that is new construction. There's been a lot of residential growth over the last couple of years. We are not allowed to count new construction in the assessed valuation whenever the tax levy is calculated for the year. So a lot of that comes back off. Then kind of moving to the next slide here. As I mentioned before, as a result, and once our ceiling is raised, the recommendation in the hearing tonight is to set the tax levy at 2.9021, which would generate an estimated revenue for the year of about $12.7 million. Next slide. So at that proposed tax rate of 2.9021, one thing I did want to point out here is that I ran the numbers and pulled all the most recent tax levies across the state of Missouri. Even if we were running it at the 305 levy where the voters approved it to, still there's 93% of all school districts in the state of Missouri that have higher tax levies than Waynesville does. So I always like to bring that out because you get a great bang for your buck here in Waynesville whenever it comes to taxpayers and our tax levy. And with that, I'd open it up to any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Harrison?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, our new school year is definitely upon us. You all look like you've had a wonderful Monday in your respective buildings, so looking forward to a great year from all of you. At this time, I'd ask you all to stand for our Pledge of Allegiance as we call this meeting to order. All right, I'd accept a motion to approve the regular scheduled meeting agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Keeling. Do I have a second?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Quinn. All in favor? Motion carried. Citizens participation and statements. Mrs. Bales.
Thank you, Mr. President. The district has not received any requests for citizens' participation per board policy BDDH.
Thank you. Military liaison update.
Thank you, Mr. President. And we have a few upcoming events, and then we have some information for you regarding some changes that have happened on the installation. So we've got the Tween Teen Pool Party happening on Friday from 7 to 10 at Wallace Pool for grades 6 to 12. No registration required. There's no fee to attend. Please encourage new students to come on home. Sundown Softball at Clapp Sports Complex on the 22nd of August, beginning at 6 p.m. There's a coaches meeting that's going to be held at 5:30 before play begins. We've got some team slots available. You need 9 players per team. Event is open to 18 years plus and out of high school, and then registration can be found at the Davidson Fitness Center website. Rexplex Customer Appreciation Day is Saturday, the 29th of August from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Enjoy free hot dogs, chips, giveaways all day, and celebrate the end of a fabulously fun summer season. There's mini golf and go-karts opening at 10, and Wallace Pool opens at 12. We've got MWR Aquatics and Odyssey Scuba, where you can earn your PDAI Lifetime Certification, Open Water Scuba Certification at Davidson Fitness Center Indoor Pool. It's open to ages 10 and up. Registration and fee information can be found on the Davidson Fitness website, and registration is open for the September 12th and 13th session now. There'll be another session coming in October. And Ms. Megan wanted to share with you that with this new school year, this month, Waynesville and other surrounding districts are beginning their 26-27 school year. Around 70% of Waynesville school district students have parents who live and work on the installation, so we can expect an increase in morning and afternoon traffic, especially at the gates during the first few days of school. Expect additional security presence. Please be vigilant and safe while driving in neighborhoods, near crosswalks, and in school zones, and be cautious of other drivers and vehicles, especially school buses. We want all our families to be safe and have a happy school year. And then, of course, summer brings lots of changes in Army leadership with the PCS season. Fort Leonard Wood has a new garrison commander, Colonel Eric McCall. He requested Fort Leonard Wood as his next assignment and is excited to be here. And on a sad note, Major General Beck's change of responsibility is coming up next week, and we wish him all well in the next chapter. Brigadier General Lavash will be the interim commanding general. We're wishing Waynesville School District and our entire community a bright and successful new school year. May the year ahead be filled with meaningful learning, strong partnerships, and opportunities for every student to thrive. We're excited to support you and look forward to a wonderful year together. Thank you.
Thank you. District announcements, Mrs. Bales.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before I begin our announcements, I just want the public at home to know we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, so if some of the PowerPoints aren't matching up quite yet, we're working on that, and we appreciate your patience as we transition over. We are excited to share that we have adopted a new communication platform called Parent Square that will be replacing Remind and School Messenger. All school, grade level, and classroom communications will begin coming through Parent Square starting this week once teachers return to their classrooms. So be looking for those reminders, and also please download that app. Meet the Teacher Night will be held this week for grades 7 through 12, Waynesville Middle School, Waynesville High School, and the Career Center on Wednesday, August 19th from 4 to 6 p.m. Meet the Teacher for grades pre-K through 6, which is Parker, Pick, Williams, East, Freedom, Partridge, Thayer, Wood, and Waynesville 6th Grade Center will be held from 4 to 6 p.m. on Thursday, August 20th. The first day of school is exactly 1 week away from today on Monday, August 24th. Just a reminder to the community that buses will be running a little bit late in the afternoons during the first few days of school, so please be patient with us while we get some of our kinks worked out. In addition, there is some added traffic, if anybody's noticed, so we're all just going to have to be really kind and patient as we work through that together to keep it as safe as possible for our kids and buses. Nominations for the 26-27 Waynesville Athletic Activity Hall of Fame class are open through September 14th. Nomination forms can be found under the fan zone on the athletic website, and there will be no school on Monday, September 7th to celebrate Labor Day holiday. Thank you, Mr. President.
A lot of things happening as we start the new school year. Moving on to our consent agenda items. Does anyone have any questions on the consent agenda? If not, I'd accept a motion to approve. I have a motion by Mr. Oxendine. I have a second by Mr. Rawlings. All in favor? Motion carried. Community recognition, Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight we are recognizing OPA, who is our current food services contractor. And so tonight I'd like to recognize and thank OPA for hosting the Community for Kids event. It was a great day that brought our community together while raising approximately $5,600 to help local families with student meal costs. We truly appreciate OPA's continued partnership and their commitment to supporting our students and families. We're grateful for their continued support of local school and community.
Definitely a great event. I don't know that we could say the weather was all that great that day. Pretty warm out. But moving on to our discussion items. First of all, the 2026 through 2031 Comprehensive School Improvement Plan. Mrs. Bales, and I think things are back up on the screen.
I think so in here. I don't know if it's coming through the live stream just yet, but we're going to keep working on it. All right, well, good evening. Tonight I'm excited to kick off our 26 through 31 Comprehensive School Improvement Plan with our community. While the board has already spent a significant time reviewing and discussing this plan, tonight is really about moving from planning to implementation and making sure our staff, families, and students and our community understand where we are headed and how we will get there. You will notice the puzzle piece theme throughout the CSIP materials. This is intentional. A comprehensive improvement plan has many pieces, and success happens when those pieces are connected and working together toward a shared purpose. This also connects perfectly with our district theme this year, connection. Our CSIP provides the shared purpose. Connection is how we bring it to life. One of the most important parts of developing this plan was ensuring that we were clear about who we are, where we are going, and what we want for our students. Our vision is to become a school community where students are empowered to lead with integrity, serve, and make a meaningful difference in the world. Our mission is leading the way every day, inspiring students to learn, lead, and leave a lasting impact on their communities. These aren't simply statements that we want to display on a wall or include in documents. We want our mission and vision to become the filter through which we make decisions, from instruction and staffing to facilities, resources, and community partnerships. Ultimately, we should be able to connect the work we are doing throughout the district back to the shared direction. We also developed 7 collective commitments that define how we will work together to accomplish our mission and vision. They focus on student-centered decision-making, integrity, belonging, leadership development, effective instruction, collaboration and engagement, college and career readiness, and physical responsibility. I think the word commitments is important. These aren't just things we believe. They are promises about how we will intend to operate as a school district. Whether we are making a classroom decision, developing a budget, considering a new program, or engaging with our community, these commitments give us a common framework for asking, does this decision move us closer to what we have said matters most for our students? Another part of this work is making our CSIP accessible and understandable to our community. We do not want this to be a lengthy document that gets approved and then sits on a shelf. We do not want this to be something that is not transparent or that our community cannot understand. As part of our website refresh, our community will have access to both a family-friendly CSIP overview and the full document for 26 through 31. We want parents, staff, students, and community members to be able to see our priorities, understand our goals, and follow our programs. Transparency and communication will be an important part of implementation because this truly is our community's plan, not simply just the district's plan. Now this where it might get a little bit, let's hope this video works in a second. It's important for us to find different ways to tell the story of our CSIP that is more engaging and instead of simply asking people to read a document or refer to a website. Tonight we're excited to share a brief video overview that introduces our new plan and helps communicate where Waynesville R6 is headed over the next 5 years. Are we going to be able to make that happen?
At Waynesville R6, our mission is clear, leading the way every day. To do this, we've built our 2026 to 2031 roadmap on 4 foundational priorities, our big rocks. Rock 1, student success, well-being, and safety. We are committed to helping every student learn at high levels while thriving in a safe, supportive, and inclusive school environment. Rock 2, quality staffing, retention, and wellness. We aim to recruit, support, and retain excellent staff so students continue to learn from caring, capable, and committed professionals. Rock 3, facilities, safety, resources, and technology. We are committed to maintaining safe, well-managed schools and providing the tools, technology, and resources needed for strong teaching and learning. Rock 4, community engagement and communication. We will continue building strong two-way communication and partnerships with families, military-connected stakeholders, and the broader community. Together, we are empowering students to lead the way every day.
I think that gives a great picture of what we are attempting to accomplish. At the center of this is very simple. Every decision and every priority ultimately connects back to creating the best possible opportunities for our students. Next, I just want to cover how we're going to progress and monitor the plan. Of course, a plan is only valuable if we actually use it, monitor it, and adjust our work based on results. That is an area that we're going to try to be more intentional with this coming cycle. The board will receive quarterly updates on the overall CSIP progress, while specific academic performance data and action steps will be incorporated into board discussions throughout the year. Our CSEP team will continue to meet and review progress. I will conduct quarterly reviews with our building principals, and our directors and assistant superintendents will review these key progress areas throughout the year. At the building level, our building school improvement plans will connect directly to the district CSIP so that there is a clear line from our district priorities to the work occurring in the classrooms. This is really about creating a cycle of plan, implement, monitor, adjust, and improve. We don't want to wait until the end of the 5 years to ask ourselves whether the plan worked. We want to know throughout the process whether our strategies are producing the results we expect and make adjustments when they aren't. Another major focus will be alignment. Our cabinet will review CSIP progress monthly. Principal leadership meetings will connect to CSIP priorities. Department goals will connect directly to CSIP objectives, and our quarterly building reviews will focus on CSIP indicators. But alignment can't stop with administrators. We want our staff to understand how their work connects to the bigger picture. Throughout the year, we will highlight CSIP goals and strategies, share progress, and just as importantly, celebrate examples of the work already happening across our district that moves these priorities forward. For the board, we will provide brief monthly updates around strategic priorities, conduct an annual review of accomplishments and next steps, and intentionally connect budget recommendations to CSIP priorities. And for our community, we will provide family-friendly information quarterly, opportunities for feedback, and consistent CSIP branding throughout the district. This is where our theme of connection becomes especially meaningful. We're connecting our classrooms to our building goals, we are connecting our building goals to our district priorities, and we are connecting our resources to our priorities. And most importantly, we are connecting people around a shared vision. I also want to emphasize that community engagement did not end when the CSIP was written. It will continue throughout this process. Our stakeholders will continue to have a role in monitoring our progress and helping us determine where adjustments may be necessary. Our CSIP team includes board members, teachers, support staff, students, parents, business and community representatives, and other stakeholders. That team will continue to meet throughout the year biannually to make adjustments as needed. This plan was built with our community, and we want our community to remain connected to the work throughout the next 5 years. As we officially launch our 26 through 31 CSIP, I want to thank the board, our staff, students, families, community members who helped develop this plan. A great plan doesn't improve a school district by itself. People do. Our CSIP gives us the roadmap, our mission gives us a purpose, our collective commitments define how we will work together, and connection is what brings all of these pieces together. Over the next 5 years, our challenge is to keep asking these 3 questions. Are we connected to our purpose? Are our actions connected to our priorities? And are those priorities making a meaningful difference for our students? And I hope at the end of this journey we can answer yes to all 3 of those questions. We are excited about where we are headed. We're excited about our progress with our community. And most importantly, we're excited to continue leading the way every day. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Bales. Following our agenda, moving on to our construction update, Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. And following along with Mrs. Bell's promise to report back on how things are attached to the CSIP goals, I will be going through tonight and kind of talking about each project and how that aligns with our CSIP goals. And so what I'll be reporting on tonight on all of our projects tonight are going to align with SMART Goal 3.2, which includes safety and emergency preparedness. SMART Goal 3.6 involves the district keeping a 10-year long-range plan, planning around those and sticking to those things. And then SMART Goal 3.7 has to do with preventative maintenance and operating efficiencies. And so I'll kind of note those as I go through each project. Starting off here, I'll jump into Liberty Elementary, an update on this site. The main thing that's really happened over the course since my last update on this, there has been some drywall work inside the classroom wing. That's what this picture here shows, where they've been in there hanging some drywall. Another picture of that here. An upcoming schedule on Liberty Elementary. So they're working on getting the permanent power installed in the building. They've been working off temporary power up to this point. They have all the switch gear installed, and they're ready to switch that on. Once they get the permanent power in, they will be ready to get the HVAC units up and running in the classroom wings, which will start climatizing that area and allow them to start putting some of the finish items in, such as the drywall finishing and some of the flooring and some of those types of things. Continued drywall work over the next 30 days. The walk-in cooler is planned to be installed in the kitchen over that time frame. The gym interior paint is going on. Exterior masonry, which includes the brick veneer and some of the stone veneer that they're putting on as well. And then exterior metal panels, they're supposed to be delivered on site here within the next couple weeks, and we should start seeing some of those Waynesville orange splashes starting to pop up, which will be exciting on the outside of the building. And then as of right now, we're still calling in March 2027. That's whenever the substantial completion date of the contract is. The contract or the project still is on budget. We do have some things here, you know, and I do want to give an update on kind of Liberty in general. So, you know, to address some of the information that's been circulating around regarding the condition of the building, we have experienced some settling in an isolated area of the building. We are working closely with engineers and professionals to evaluate the affected area and determine the best course of action moving forward. In the meantime, Wright Construction, they are on site currently. They are on site working and moving forward with construction on the building until what the course of action is determined what needs to happen there. And so our focus, the district's focus, is on understanding the cause, making the appropriate corrections, and doing everything the right way to prevent potential issues moving forward. With that being said, there has been some schedule delays on the project. We're still working as an overall team on deciding, you know, what is a rational schedule and what can we set the new schedule as. I don't have that yet. I do anticipate the schedule is going to be pushed back, but I will have more information on that as I continue to update on this project. Administration building renovation, this one goes back to our 3.6 of maintaining, you know, our 10-year long-range plan. This was on our 10-year long-range plan. There has been some progress on that. As you can see, we have a roof over the phase 1 area now, so all the steel has been erected, and we do have a roof on that now. The roofing contractor, I believe, is scheduled to come out within the next couple weeks and actually get the roofing material installed on there. This is just a different shot coming from the front, so that shows that the kind of more the inside of that space. And this is actually the interior of it. So this is going to be really nice. This will be that great big conference room and kitchen area once it's all said and done. And this is pictures of the inside of the phase 2 construction area where the abatement has occurred. So they will be wrapping up the abatement this week, and then we'll do final air testing and all those things, and then PKC we should be able to turn that over to them next week to begin phase 2 construction. So these pictures here, they've done a great job with the abatement. As you can see, everything's nice and clean in there, and everything has been handled really well on the abatement process. Upcoming schedule, this is kind of like the upcoming outlook over the next 30 days. They will be finishing up the abatement on the phase 2 area. Then PKC will move in. There will be a few minor additional demo things to do as part of the phase 2 project before they actually start the construction inside of there. The roof of phase 1, I talked about that. They'll be on site installing the roofing material, framing in phase 1 and phase 2. So some of the interior framing on the end, the phase 1 portion, and then coming in and getting some of the additional framing needed for phase 2. They will continue to be doing some of the rough ends for HVAC duct work, and then all the plumbing and electrical. They'll be working on phase 1 and phase 2 from that standpoint. As of now, the original substantial completion date on this was in May of 26 due to the abatement and things that we found, and that's pushed the schedule back. We do have a schedule completion date of around June of 26 right now. We are working with the contractor, trying to find some ways, maybe during those phasing periods, where we can kind of buy some of that time back and get closer back to that May time frame. But as of right now, the schedule is scheduled to be completed in June I'm sorry, that should say June of 2000. My bad, that's a typo. It will not be done in June of 2026. The anticipated substantial completion date is June of 2027. I apologize for the mistake there. Currently, the project is still on budget, and as I mentioned, we are working on trying to get that schedule reined in. Once again, I apologize for the typo. WHS traffic improvements. This project goes back to 3.2 on the CSIP, which has to do with safety and emergency preparedness. Trying to improve some of the traffic, and especially during that first week, you know, traffic is at the high school has become an issue in the past years. And I'll have an update on the schedule on that. Unfortunately, we will not have the full project done by the time school starts, but we do have a plan in place to get everything ready to go to where we will minimize the traffic issues the best we can for the first couple weeks of school. Reminder on the scope of this project: connecting the WHS and WCC parking lots to separate bus traffic with the parent traffic. We will be building a new walkway between the high school and the Career Center, extend the driveway across the detention pond, which will improve traffic flow on the WHS campus. What that does is allows us to queue up a lot more cars on campus and make a lot more room for the incoming traffic coming in. And then we will be adding 50 additional parking spaces on campus, which is never a bad thing for a campus such as big as the high school. Got a couple update pictures here on this project. This picture here is overlooking the detention pond. As you can see, the rough grading of the actual road going around there, and you can really now see the shape of that road going through there. And they're working on finalizing all that. This is another angle of it from the other side. You can see how it loops around and ties into the existing parking lot on the backside of the high school there. This picture here is of the walkway area. You can kind of see the WCC and the high school connecting driveways there as well, but they are making progress. You can see where they're pouring piers to mount the new structure for the walkway. This is a different angle of that, shows more of the actual connecting road. They pretty much got it graded out and most of the way ready to go. Schedule on this project continued over the next 30 days or so. Excavation and rough grading will continue. The road and the driveway prep will continue on that, prepping for the pavement to come in, and piers for the walkway. We do, as I mentioned before, schedule on that. We were hoping to have the roads and everything done by the time school started on that. Just not feasible with the scope of the project. The actual substantial completion date all along on this project has been November 1, knowing there's going to be some things to kind of tidy up on the back end of all of it. So as of right now, we will have the parking lot, all the areas of the parking lot that's been torn apart, that all will be done by Wednesday of this week. And so at that point, the plan is to, like we were doing at the end of last year where traffic was coming in and looping all the way up around the parking lot. Once we started doing that, that really made a big impact on some of the traffic concerns that we had. So starting off the school year, that's how we will start off. The parking lot will be put back to its full use, and we will start off like that. By October 1st, the road around the detention pond should be complete, and then the connecting road should be complete between WHS and WCC. So we will have a few weeks there where they're still working on the outside skirts of the big parking lot, but the main parking lot will be done by the time school starts, actually Wednesday of this week. So, and then by around the 15th of October, the walkway should be complete. The project's still on budget and on schedule. Sixth grade center traffic improvements, same CSIP goal of 3.2, safety emergency preparedness. The scope of work on this, similar to the high school, widen entrance coming into the sixth grade center, additional entrance and exit going along the creek and coming out to add more queuing for parent traffic coming in. Additional parking lot will allow the more of a queuing there as well. And we will be adding about 15 additional parking spaces on the campus. This is a picture here last week. They've actually got a little bit more of this done now, but you can kind of see all that taking shape now. The road, as I mentioned, going around, circling around along the creek down there, and then coming out and tying back in. And they're getting close to having that prepped for asphalt as well down there. Schedule on this one, very similar to the high school schedule. They will be continuing excavation and rough grading. There are some box culverts that has to be installed along that little creek area down through there. They'll be working on that. There are some utility lines that have to be relocated as part of this. There's a gas and a water line that runs along that area that we are going to have to divert a little bit to get it out of the way of construction. We have a plan in place for that. And then also the parking lot prep work will continue. We're looking at probably around the 15th of October for this to be a usable end product. Substantial completion date, where they'll have everything tidied up and done, is November 1st. Currently, this project is on budget, on schedule as well. Freedom HVAC and roof upgrades. So this project goes back to our 3.6, the long-range plan, and also 3.7, which is operational efficiencies and going back to preventative maintenance and some of those things. So excited to complete this project. They are pretty much done with this project. The project is substantially complete. The design team has been on site and marked it as substantially complete and created a small punch list of things to finish out, but we do have air pumping in there. Other than some testing and balancing and some final things, the project is done. And it did come in under budget, which is good. We'll be getting a credit back on some of the unused allowances and things like that, and it was done on schedule. WCC HVAC upgrade, that project is substantially complete as well. The same day that they punched out Freedom, we went down, and WCC is running. We have air running in there as well. Same exact deal as the Freedom site. We have some more testing and balancing, some of those final kind of things to do, but overall, we're calling the project substantially complete. And the same here, that one come in a little under budget, and it was done on schedule as well. The middle school cafeteria expansion, we demolished some of the existing storage areas in the middle school, and we come back and put the interior finishes in to match the existing cafeteria. We increased the cafeteria space by about 600 square foot and added a capacity for about 100 to 120 more students, which will be good and allow them to cycle more students throughout the lunch periods there, which is much needed in that building. A couple pictures of the project here, so they are done with that project now as well. You can see here they've already started to put some cafeteria tables and things in there. This picture here shows where they kind of opened that area up between the existing cafeteria and where it comes into that. That was just a solid wall there before. And as I said before, this project is substantially complete, and that one did come in under budget and on schedule as well. And with that, I'd be glad to take any questions.
Mr. Harris referenced the road that goes around the detention pond at the
Yes,
high
sir.
school. Can you clarify whether that's going to be a one-way, whether it's going to be several lanes, or?
Starting off, it'll be 2-lane, and we'll be allowed two-way traffic on that, yeah.
Any other questions? A lot of things happening in the district. Thank you, Mr. Harrison.
Thank you.
Moving to our gifted programs update, Mrs. Smith.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I have the honor of presenting for our gifted team today. Let me see how I'm going to manage this. Here we go. All right. So we wanted to begin by showing how our plans for our gifted programming or our gifted population aligns with our current CSIP, and this is also to be as inclusive as possible with our students. Our team of LEAP teachers are amazing. They are passionate about serving our gifted population, so I wanted to introduce you to them tonight. First is Miss Anita Humphrey. She works with our 1st through 3rd grade population. Miss Shondi Keppel, she works with our 3rd and 4th grade population. She does have 1 5th grade class as well. Miss Christina Wallace, she's our 5th grade LEAP teacher, and then she's also our LEAP facilitator for the district. And then we also have Miss Caitlin Selly, and she co-teaches 6th grade with Miss Wallace. Her LEAP classes are our secondary group. That's our 7th and 8th grade team at the middle school, and then our 9th through 12th grade students at the high school who receive that gifted resource model for high school students. That way they don't have to choose between their classes. It used to be they were, when they were when they qualified for LEAP, they had to, they could sign up for a class, but that means they had to choose to take the LEAP class over other classes that maybe they needed for post-secondary graduation. So now we use the resource model in order for them to be able to have all the options and be able to do all of it. So these are our 6 domains that shape our curriculum that's utilized by our LEAP program. It's our portrait of a gifted learner. And our criteria is set by the state, but I do want to point out that an IQ or General Ability Index, that's that GAI, of 124 is the lowest that the state actually allows for us to accept. So our district chose to move forward with the 124 IQ or GAI. That way we could be as inclusive as possible when we are looking at students and eligibility. And to clarify for those who don't work in the world of IQ all the time, a GAI, that actually stands for the General Ability Index. So that means that measures those core verbal and reasoning skills. So it takes out, or it lowers the weight of that working memory and processing speed. So again, for inclusivity purposes. And we are, we do want to make sure that we are also removing barriers. So we do also have some alternate criteria that we can utilize as well when using the gifted evaluation scale. So that way when you have, it helps with those students who have some cultural differences or special needs children who may still be able to qualify for the LEAP program. We just have to be able to find ways to remove those barriers. So that's what we work on doing. All right, and these are just a few of our LEAP testing and identification facts. So the referral, you'll start over to the left. So the LEAP referrals between parents, teacher, or other referrals, or and LEAP screenings. Those are grades kindergarten, 2nd, and 4th grade. We screened a total of 369 students during the 2025-2026 school year. Then we also, we now use the NNAT first before utilizing the OLSAT as a testing system. Reason for that is because that NNAT is actually, it's a nonverbal test, so it removes that language barrier that some students may have, so that way we can identify more students. So we currently have an identification in the school district of 5% of our students actually qualify for gifted. Actually, I apologize. It's 5.5%. But 5% of the entire population is actually what could be considered gifted. So we're right there along with what the entire population would look like as a whole. So here's what our LEAP enrollment looks like. This is our kindergarten through 6th grade group, and we've stayed pretty consistent. And this is our 7th through 12th grade. And so you're going to notice there is an increase here. So there's a couple different reasons that we could attribute that to. Changes in how the services are delivered, moving to that resource model. Changes to adding the nonverbal standardization evaluation first, so that we could identify more students. And then the WHS, well, like I said, the WHS enrollment has increased because students are now choosing to be involved with our LEAP programming. I do want to point out we have active students, but then we also have inactive students. So what that means is those are the students that qualified for our gifted programming, but they've chosen not to participate. They've declined those services, which they do have a right to do. So here are our LEAP demographics as of December 2025, and we do try to match the district demographics. Each year it appears that we get closer and closer. I also wanted to note that there is an increase in families that are marking multiracial, which it's great that we have that option for our families to mark. And Shine Nights. So Shine Nights are where our curriculum comes to life for our families and our communities. At the end of every semester, our high ability learners take center stage to showcase their culminating projects, demonstrating critical thinking and problem-solving skills developed throughout the term. In recent years, students have explored diverse high-rigor units, ranging from studying ancient Egypt to 3D print design to biomedical engineering and podcasting. Shine Night provides our students with meaningful audience, validating their hard work and celebrating the depth of learning happening at LEAP. And at the end, I'll be sharing our dates for Shine Night. We already have those scheduled for the year, so we would be happy to see everybody there. We also allow for some vertical collaboration within LEAP. So our 1st through 8th grade students actually often get the chance to work with multiple grade levels, and at least one vertical unit is completed each year. LEAP provides our students with some real-world learning opportunities throughout out-of-district travel, from advocating for advanced academics at the state level during Gifted Day at the Capitol, to engineering hands-on curriculum-aligned field trips. Our experiences expand student perspectives. For high school learners, targeted college visits offer a glimpse into the post-secondary pathways, inspiring ambition, fostering independence, and connecting present learning to future possibilities. These are just a few of our pictures to highlight those. And then this year, we actually hosted the first Gifted Field Day. So this was on a Saturday. We had 66 of our LEAP students came together for a unique day designed to engage their minds through creative problem solving and social emotional connection. Students rotated through hands-on learning stations ranging from 2D art creation and reimagining recycled materials to strategic thinking games and chess. Importantly, students also put their creativity to work for a cause, designing personalized birthday cards for local children in foster care. Because Gifted Field Day was such a huge success in building community and intellectual engagement among our students, our goal moving forward is to expand this event to the region, and hoping to be able to invite some other school districts to be able to join us. So beyond working directly with students, our LEAP team is deeply committed to building district and regional capacity by providing professional development for educators. Our specialists presented at the GO CSD Innovation Summit, leading sessions on moving past busy work through authentic enrichment, as well as leveraging digital literacy through student podcasting. Within our district, we actively support classroom teachers with targeted training, such as our sessions on Tier 2 RTI and enrichment strategies. The goal of our second training is to encourage teachers to more meaningful enrichment versus busy work. The team also invests in future educators by presenting to high school students in the Teaching Pathways classes at the Waynesville Career Center, sharing foundational strategies for identifying and supporting gifted learners. And finally, to keep the lines of communication open, our LEAP team visits every building at the start of each school year to guide staff on identification and referral processes, supplemented by district-wide newsletters throughout the year. We also have a wonderful Student Services Advisory Committee. It's a multidisciplinary committee. It combines parents, there are our community members, staff members, board members, leaders across the district that get together and help to come up with ideas to continue strengthening our programs. And this year, we had the very first LEAP Summer School, which was well-attended, and the families were incredibly excited about. We had space for 60 LEAP students in grades 1st through 6th grade. The interest was so high that we had a wait list. So students started their day in their homeroom with thinking skills, and then rotated through the 3 teachers' units each day. The day ended with Genius Hour and Passion Project time. All units were planned on the Route 66 theme. Mrs. Humphrey's unit was how the route changed with the people who traveled it. Mrs. Keppel, her unit focused on the cultural diffusion along Route 66, and then Mrs. Wallace's unit incorporated coding and robotics to navigate obstacles along the route, and culminated with a parade representing famous landmarks. And then to ensure that our students have access to cutting-edge learning, our LEAP team proactively seeks out competitive grant opportunities. These grants directly advance our CSIP goals by expanding classroom technology, enriching student learning, and building valuable community partnerships. Expanding technology and resources through the Go CSD, Go Innovate grant, Ms. Selly secured equipment to launch our middle school podcasting unit. Additionally, funding from the Waynesville R6 School District Foundation allowed us to expand our microbit coding and robotics offerings. Advanced hands-on innovation had partnering with external organizations, the GAM, which is the Gifted Association of Missouri, Lang Team, or STEM Grant, and the Fort Leonard Wood Thrift Shopped Outreach grant funded an X-Tool M1 Ultra Laser Cutter with filtration. The addition to our STEAM lab gives students hands-on experience with fabrication and design, unleashing new levels of creative problem solving. Investively building educator capacity, finally through competitive travel reimbursement grants from UConn, Confracture, and Cyber.org, our team has attended conferences in order to be able to provide as much of this kind of information for our students as we possibly can. And by continuously seeking external funding and national training, our teams embrace every opportunity to bring world-class tools and strategies back to our Waynesville students. And these are the dates that we have for our LEAP Open House, our first Shine Night, our second Shine Night, and then Gifted Field Day is to be determined, but we are excited to start planning that as well. Oh, sorry. And are there any questions? That was a lot of information, so.
So not a question,
Yeah.
just a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
As a district, we have amazing advisory committees, and I love being a part of all the ones that I am, and all the time that board members and parents and administration and teachers all spend in those. The student services has been amazing to be a part of and see, particularly the summer school, when the committee brought that up, and then to see it come into fruition, and then to see what a success it was this summer. Just everything that you guys do, Dr. Washington, Ms. Clark, like just making this happen for our students is amazing. And I hope that, you know, everyone understands the work that goes in on these committees to make all this really cool stuff happen. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right.
Any other questions or comments for Mrs. Smith? Very good.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it.
Glad to see the success. Moving into our action items, starting off with the 2026-27 tax rate ceiling increase. Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. As mentioned previously, administration recommends a motion to adopt the resolution to set the tax rate ceiling at 2.9021 for the 2026-2027 tax year as presented.
Do I have a motion? I'll make the motion. I have a motion by Mr. Keeling, a second? Second by Mr. Pondrum. All in favor? Motion carried. Now, for the tax rate, 2026-27 tax rate. Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. Administration recommends a motion to approve the tax rate levy of 2.9021 per each $100 of assessed valuation for the FY27 budget.
Do I have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Oxendine. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mrs. Rao, all in favor? Motion carried. 2026-27 tuition rate. Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. The FY27 tuition rate is calculated based on the current expenditures per pupil, which for the most recent year is $13,171.89. Historically, the district has rounded this figure to the nearest $50 increment. So accordingly, the proposed tuition rate for the 26-27 school year is $13,200. And for comparison purposes, the tuition rate for 25-26 was $12,450. And with that, administration recommends a motion to approve the 26-27 school year tuition rate at $13,200.
Do I have a motion to approve the tuition rate?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Keeling.
Second.
Do I have a second? Mrs. Rao, all in favor? Motion carried. Special Education Local Compliance Plan. Dr. Washington.
Thank you, Mr. President. Attached is the Special Education Local Compliance Plan Certification Statement. This is an annual requirement through the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education and confirms that the district will continue to follow DESE's Model Compliance Plan for implementing IDEA and providing special education services. Administration is requesting board approval of the Special Education Local Compliance Plan at this time.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the local compliance plan? Mr. Rawlings, second. Mr. Oxendine, all in favor? Motion carried. Board policy, BBFA, first waiving of the first reading. Mrs. Bales.
Thank you, Mr. President. The district conflict of interest ordinance expires this year and must be readopted by September 15th. Board policy BBFA is attached, and administration is asking for board approval with the first reading being waived to make the deadline. However, administration does plan to take the policy back through the full TABS process.
Any questions on that? If not, I accept a motion. Thank you, Mr. Quinn. Do I have a second? Mr. Keeling, all in favor? Motion carried. Job description, second reading. Dr. Goforth.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following job descriptions are presented for your review and consideration as a second reading. Administration requests approval as presented.
Are there any questions? If not, I'd accept a motion to approve the proposed job description revisions.
Motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Rao. Do I have a second? Second. Mr. Oxendine, all in favor? Motion carried. Change order number 1 with Thomas Construction on the Waynesville Middle School cafeteria expansion project. Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. This change order is an overall credit back to the district for unused allowances on the middle school cafeteria project with Thomas Construction. Administration recommends a motion to approve change order number 1 with Thomas Construction on the middle school cafeteria expansion project as a credit to the contract sum in the amount of $23,589.14, reducing the contract sum to $78,694.86.
Thank you. Always like to see a credit. Do I have a motion? Mr. Quinn's first on it. Second, Mrs. Rao, all in favor? Motion carried. Change order number 8, BP number 2 with Wright Construction Services on the Liberty Elementary Phase 2 project. Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. This change order involves several required construction modifications on the Liberty BP2 project with Wright Construction. The full amount will come out of the contingency balance on the project. Administration recommends a motion to approve change order number 8 with Wright Construction Services on the Liberty Elementary Phase 2 project BP number 2 in the amount of $67,980.00. No change to contract sum, decreasing construction contingencies to $803,642.78.
Any questions on change order number 8? If not, I'd accept a motion to approve. Mr. Oxendine Mr. Rawlings, all in favor? Motion carried. That concludes our regular scheduled agenda. We'll at this time accept a motion to move into closed session for closed record, closed session, closed record, closed vote is allowed by RSMO 610-.021, Section 1, legal, Section 3, hiring, firing, and disciplinary and promotion of all employees, and Section 13, individual personal records, performance ratings. And at this time, I'll accept a motion to go into closed session. Mr. Keeling, do I have a second? Mr. Oxendine, roll call vote. Yes. Thank you all. We are in closed session.